On the world news, polio vaccination continues in Gaza, and 60% of Africans tend to leave country due to corruption. This is the world news. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us on the world news on Providence Television International. Edna Caesar Garrick is my name. Maha Abu Sama, 27, has been getting her 4 children, all under the age of 10, ready to get their polio vaccine since the early hours of the morning. Maha, a mother of 5, has been living in a classroom in Dar el Bala, central Gaza Strip, since the family was displaced from Beit Hanun in the north last November. Gaza's Ministry of Health last month confirmed the first case of polio, a 10-month-old boy now paralyzed in the leg, in the enclave after 25 years, following the detection of polio virus in the wastewater. The United Nations, along with Gaza's health authorities, have begun a vaccination campaign to protect children against polio, which can cause irreversible paralysis of the limbs and even death. About 640,000 children under 10 years old will receive oral drops of the vaccine to protect against the virus, which primarily affected children under the age of 5, is highly contagious and has no cure. The threat of polio has only compounded Maha's worries. Displaced parents like her are already contend with harsh sanitary conditions at shelters like the school where Maha and her children live, and in Gaza's tent camps, as they try to survive Israel's war on Gaza, which killed more than 40,700 Palestinians. In addition to taking her children to Al-Saka Hospital to be vaccinated, Maha had to bring a young girl's child to the pediatric ward after days of having a high fever and vomiting. While she welcomes the polio vaccination drive, she points out that this addresses just one threat posed by the their living condition: malnutrition, hepatitis, skin disease, exhaustion, while saying the real solution lies in improving living condition and the end of war. Vladimir Putin has started an official visit to Mongolia undisturbed as Ulaanbaatar ignored an arrest warrant for the Russian president. An honor guard welcomed Putin in Mongolia capital on Tuesday as he arrived to meet the country's leader, Khan Kureskuthi. Mongolia has balanced calls for it to arrest the Russian leader on the international warrant. Mongolia is a member of the International Criminal Court that issued an arrest warrant for Putin last year over alleged war crimes in Ukraine, including the deportation of children to Russia. However, Putin received a warm welcome. The capital's central Genghis Khan Square was decked out with huge Mongolia and Russian flags for his first visit to the neighboring country in 5 years. A small protest has gathered the previous day as the Russian president arrived in the country. A handful of demonstrators held signs demanding "Get war criminal Putin out of here." Ukraine has called on Mongolia to arrest Putin and hand him over to ICC court in The Hague for the alleged illegal deportation of Ukrainian children, a practice that has been widely reported since Moscow launched its invasion of its neighbor in February 2022. However, action already looked unlikely. Mongolia has refrained from condemning Russia's offensive and has abstained during votes on the conflict at the United Nations. Members of the International Court are bound to detain suspects if an arrest warrant has been issued. About the court does not have any enforcement mechanism. A spokesperson for Putin said last week that the Kremlin was not worried that the president could be detained during the visits. Nearly 60% of young Africans want to leave their countries because the government are not reigning in corruption. According to a new poll of youth across 16 African countries, they cited corruption as the biggest obstacle to progress, according to the 2024 African Youth Survey published on Tuesday. The poll, commissioned by the Johannesburg-based Equitous Family Foundation, surveyed 5,604 people between the ages of 18 and 24 in Botswana, Cameroon, Chad, Republic of Congo, Ivory Coast, Ethiopia, Gabon, Ghana, Kenya, Malawi, Namibia, Nigeria, Rwanda, South Africa, Tanzania, and Zambia. 83% of them said they are concerned about corruption at home, and 62% believe the government is failing to address it. The poll showed nearly 58% of young people saying they are very likely or somewhat likely to consider emigrating to another country in the next 3 years. More than half of 55% of those polled said Africa was headed in the wrong direction. Although there was a modest rise of 37% in Afro-optimism from the 2022 survey. In addition to corruption at home, 72% of those who polled also worried about the negative effect of foreign influence. Young Africans looking to immigrate favored North America as their top destination, followed by Western Europe, including the United Kingdom, France, Germany, and Spain. If you are just joining us, this is the world news on Providence Television International. Authorities in the Democratic Republic of Congo have said at least 129 people were killed while trying to escape from the central Makala prison in the capital Kinshasa. In a statement, Interior Minister Sabini Luko said prisoners attempted the breakout on Monday amid a fire that hit the building's administrative buildings, including the infirmary. Makala prison is the largest in the Democratic Republic of Congo and was built to hold 1,500 prisoners. It currently has between 14,000 and 15,000 detainees. Most of them are people awaiting trial, Amnesty International said in its most recent country report on DRC. The prison has recorded previous jailbreaks, including in 2017 when more than 4,000 prisoners escaped from the facility after an attack by armed men at night. Authorities have been trying to reduce overcrowding with dozens of inmates released in recent months. Justice Minister Constant Montaba called the attack on premeditated act of sabotage carried out on the main effort to improve the conditions of prisoners. He also announced the ban on the transfer of inmates from the prison and said authorities will build a new prison among their effort to reduce overcrowding. There was no public comment on the coincidence from Congolese President Felix Tshisekedi, who is in China on an official visit. Away from the foreign scene now, back home, the president of Dangote Group, Aliko Dangote, has presented the first sample of premium motor spirit, otherwise known as petrol. Dangote made this presentation on Tuesday in a broadcast at his refinery situated in the Ibeju-Lekki area of Lagos State. The 650,000 capacity refinery engaged in a test run of the product. Dangote, who further commended the people of Nigeria and the government of President Bola Tinubu for giving the Dangote Group a platform for growth, development and prosperity, also thanked him personally for creating the idea of the Naira for crude, adding that doing that will give Naira stability. Dangote further assured that with the refinery working, it will show the true consumption of Nigeria, as well as we having the capacity to truck every load, truck and ship. He also said that his refinery will meet the demand of not only Nigerians but also sub-Sahara Africa. The chairman of the Northern State Governors Forum and governor of Gombe State, Muhammadu Yahaya, has reaffirmed the collective concerns of Northern governors regarding the rising insecurity in the region. The governor emphasized a strong commitment to partnering with key stakeholders to tackle the issue effectively. Yahaya restated this on Monday while receiving a report of the coalition of northern groups put together by experts Committee on Insecurity in Northern Nigeria as part of outcome of the recently conducted roundtable meeting held in Abuja. Yahaya noted the growing impact of insecurity on the livelihood of millions of Nigerians, particularly in agricultural sector, which has led to a hike in food prices affecting not only northern state but the entire nation. He emphasized that the governors are committed to tackling the insecurity that has plagued the nation, which has hindered farming activities, accelerated inflation of food, commodities, and general economic challenges faced by the country, stressing that as governors, they are deeply concerned about the security situation in northern Nigeria. The Abia State government has concluded plans to train 2,000 master trainers for teachers in the state. The Commissioner for Information, OK Kano, disclosed this while briefing the journalists on the outcome of this week's Executive Council meeting presided over by Governor Alex Otti on Monday. He stated that 200 teachers have passed through the training, while the remaining 1,800 would have theirs soon. He said the Abia State Basic Education Board has screened, interviewed and shortlisted 40 teachers for training under the Abia State School Enhancement Team program. He further disclosed that the posting of security personnel to public schools in the state has begun, a measure he said is aimed at safeguarding lives and property in the school. This is part of the wider agenda of the state government to reform our education system. Also, as part of the ongoing reform agenda in the education system, the promise that the state government has made in the past has come to fulfillment with the posting of security personnel to our schools. According to him, posting security personnel is aimed at securing the lives and property of the students, teachers, and the property of the schools involved. Kano also revealed that a total of 5,746 ASUBEB staff have been marked for promotion and said that it is a way to motivate the staff for greater productivity. He said under the Abia State School Enhancement Team program, the board has screened 40 persons to ensure quality assurance and compliance with schools' guidelines. The commissioner further announced that the state government will commission the newly upgraded eye centers annexes of Abia Specialist Hospital at Amachara on Tuesday, September 3rd, 2024. Dada Yar'Adua, mother of former President Umaru Yar'Adua and a former Chief of Staff, Supreme Headquarters, Shehu Yar'Adua, has died at the age of 102. Providence Television International learned that she died at the Federal Teaching Hospital in Katsina on Monday evening. Dada is revered as one of the few women to have bettered top politicians in Nigerian history, including Umaru, a former president and two-time governor of Katsina State, Shehu, who was the ex-chief of staff's Supreme Headquarters under the military regime of former President Olusegun Obasanjo, and Abdulaziz, chairman, Senate Committee on Army. The news of her death has drawn prayers and condolences from well-meaning Nigerians. Katsina State Governor Diko Rada, who interrupted his official duties in Daura, paid a condolence visit to the family of the late Hajia Fatima Dada, the mother of former President Umar Musa Yar'Adua. Meanwhile, the late Dada is scheduled to be laid to rest tomorrow morning by Islamic custom. The governor expressed his deepest sympathies to the grieving families and extended his heartfelt condolences. Also expressing sadness over Dada's death, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar wrote via his handle that he is saddened by the passing of Hajia Dada Yar'Adua, mother of his late mentor, Tafida Shehu Yar'Adua, late President Umar Musa Yar'Adua, Senator Abdulaziz Yar'Adua, among others. He added that in the absence of his beloved mother, he adopted Hajia Dada as a mother, adding that his condolences also go to the government and people of Katsina State. With that, we've come to the end of the world news. But before we go, a recap. We brought you the story which says authorities in the Democratic Republic of Congo, the RCA, have said at least 129 people were killed while trying to escape from the central Makala prison in the capital Kinshasa. In a statement, the Interior Minister Shabani Luko said prisoners attempted the breakout on Monday amid a fire that hit the building administrative building, including the infirmary. Makala prison is the largest in the Democratic Republic of Congo and was built to hold 1,500 prisoners. It currently has between 14,000 and 15,000 detainees. We also told you that Vladimir Putin has started an official visit to Mongolia undisturbed as Ulaanbaatar ignored an arrest warrant for the Russian president. An honor guard welcomed Putin Mongolia capital on Tuesday as he arrived to meet the country's leader. Kureski. Mongolia has balanced course for it to arrest the Russian leader on the international warrant. Maha Abu Samas, 27, has been getting her 4 children, all under the age of 10, ready to get their polio vaccines since the early hours of the morning. Maha, a mother of 5, has been living in the classroom in the El Bala, central Gaza Strip, since the family was displaced from Beit Hanun in the north last November. Gaza's Ministry of Health last month confirmed the first case of polio A 10-month-old boy now paralyzed in the leg in the enclave after 25 years following the detection of polio virus in waste waters. That's our package. Thanks for watching. Edna Cesar Garrick is my name. Good afternoon.